Okay, welcome to Run, Race, Repeat, the live show where we talk about all things running, from training to racing and all things in between. My name is Doug Pierce, and I'm joined by Brett Almasi. Brett, how you doing today?
Hey, pretty good, Doug.
Okay, good, good.
Doing better. Ready to
And
ready to do this.
okay, and you're still from Dover Foxcroft.
Yep, for
So that's
now.
good. And yeah, so today's topic is nutrition and diet. We're going to be talking about
Food.
what food, yes, what you should be eating for best performance and just to feel good. And but first, it's the check-in. Where we talk about the prior week's training. And by the way, we're really curious to know what our viewers, how your last week of training went. So let us know in chat, and we'd love to hear it. So for me, well, actually, I think it's your turn, Brett, to go first.
This week, as you know, I was ill the last few days, but in the last probably 3 days, I've been feeling much better, more energy. I took 3 days off, and it was actually really good for me. Came back with a whole new energy. Have been doing again the 3 to 3.5 a day, same core, 5 days a week, but definitely feeling better before and after.
How many days do you do the core?
I do some core every day, but full core every other day.
Wow.
Hardcore, if you will.
Yeah, you put me to shame.
Hardcore.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get better about doing my ancillary work. I've I've gotten
Right,
much more consistent with the running, but the all the side strength and flexibility work has not been. I have not been as diligent. Let's put it that way.
right, right.
But anything else, or just you just kind of staying? You've got
Uh,
your mojo back. Brett got his
Mojo
mojo
back,
back.
but
Okay.
melon
Yes.
tweak moment of the week.
Yeah.
Not so bad, but again, when I go out running now, I do notice that the clothes are fitting even uh, less. What's the term? They're fitting bigger on me, even now more so than a month ago.
They're hanging
Uh,
loose, is what you mean,
Hanging
right? Yeah.
loose,
Yeah.
hanging tough. And I've had people who I know and don't know stop me in public and basically I'm okay with them asking me how much I run, where do I run, but when they attribute my current weight situation to running and basically telling me that, running is probably bad for me and they're probably not runners, so it's tough for me to lash out or be, disrespectful. So I kind of just smile and kind of give an answer that maybe it's half-assed, maybe it's just some minimal explanation,
Right.
but you know, um,
Yeah, this is the thing where the American ideal for a man's, body, the ideal male American body image is, muscles,
we're we're
it's
not we're not glamorous, and around here, Doug, I'm not, in my town. I love my town. I've been here a dozen years, 13 years, and when you walk into a restaurant, you walk into a bar, I would say that women around here do respond more to the bigger, buffer guy. He might have a really tight T-shirt on. Um, no, I'm being serious. I mean, that's
I know,
fine.
I know,
Like, I'm not saying
yeah.
every person loves it, but a lot of them, the runner's body is not glamorous. When I walk in
No.
with a T-shirt that kind of fits me,
Yeah.
it's not glamorous.
Yeah.
It's not sexy. It's not that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
What are you
And
gonna do, man?
yeah, I know. It's, you don't get into, competitive running or marathon running to, you know, get get chicks, I guess.
get swole.
Gets
And I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and it's not even about, the being noticed thing. It's more the fact that even conversations about running are not numerous. All I can say is people who want to start running, they've talked to me and they're into what I say, and they're genuinely interested in knowing what to do. And but in general, conversations about running, I really don't talk a lot about it in public, but with people I associate with or hang out with.
Um, because it's well, you don't think it's interesting to them, or you think
I
they'll
don't
think it's
I don't
extreme. You think they'll think it's like way too like hardcore. Like, why are you
stream.
doing that?
No, no, it's like they think I'm crazy. They think they don't know why I'm doing it. I mean, they know why I do it. 'Cause I told them why I do it, but is something that really isn't an extended conversation. There are other things that we talk about that I think as a group is more relatable, a little more engaging. But the runner's life, talking about training for a marathon,
Yeah,
it's not cute.
which is why we have this show. We can do it here.
We can do it here and
Yeah,
have maybe hopefully more viewers this time. I mean,
yeah,
we want your questions, we want your comments. I mean, what do you got to say about it, people? We need comments besides our producer Rachel.
yeah, yeah,
We want
yeah.
we
That's
want
right.
we want her to chime in, but we need more people.
Yeah, yeah.
Come
It
on,
is kind.
fans,
Yeah, it is kind of interesting
speak up.
to. It is kind of interesting to consider how like the female. I feel like the female ideal body image is more in line with doing lots of running. Uh,
Maybe.
you
I
know what I
mean, it
mean?
could be.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
um, I don't know. I mean, I would love to talk male runners because I know a lot of them around here. I
yeah.
don't know a lot of runners around here. There's probably two of us. One's
Uh,
60 and one's me.
Brett. So just real quick, I think your internet is kind of breaking up a little bit.
Let me.
I don't know if you have any like programs or something that is using the internet. Maybe
Uh,
close those. But
I.
while you look into that, I'll just talk about my
I'm.
what's that?
I'm here. I think.
Yeah, you're here. You're here. You were just breaking up a little bit. I never lost you, but I was just losing some of what you were saying in
I'm
your
always here.
mid-frame. You're always here, lurking. Um,
Always lurking.
so my past week of training, it was actually really
What
good
you got? Okay.
because this was I think my fifth week doing this training plan, and for the first time, I really felt stronger. Like I could,
You
I felt
felt
like,
stronger.
yeah, like I felt like, yeah, I can do that extra mile, no problem. I felt like, yeah, I can do that extra rep, no problem. Like I was doing, like today, I did some hill repeats, some like minute long hill repeats, and the training plan, said, do between 6 to 8. And my
Right.
plan kind of has been because I am basically getting off the couch doing this training plan. My strategy was to do the lower amount. But today I was like, what? I did 6. I'm like, what? I can do more. So I did 7, and I feel like I can do another one. And I did 8. Um, so I'm just feeling stronger. It feels good. It feels good to
Right.
be reaping the
Right.
benefits, at last. And we're on week
You you
in week
know how
five.
it goes with
Yeah.
you know how it goes with the constant retraining, how that goes with it takes a few weeks to really feel that strength.
Yeah, well, they say that you don't like 2 weeks is pretty much the quickest you're gonna get a benefit from a workout. It's gonna take at
Right.
least 2 weeks, and sometimes even longer, depending on the person. So, I feel like finally starting to reap some of the benefit. But I think I alluded to last show a certain trail fall that I had, and I that I captured on camera
Actual footage.
with my GoPro. So I thought I'd share just a couple of clips with both me running with the jogging stroller with my daughter, and also me taking this trail fall. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that now. Here we go.
Emerson and I running on the Staten Island bike path along Richmond Road. Just trying to get a feel for this new GoPro I have, holding it and talking to it as I'm running with the jogging stroller. Emerson, say hi.
I want to.
I think she said I'm going running in the stroller. No, there's a deer right there. They're all over the place on Staten Island. Deer. So anyway, as you'd imagine, that kind of training plan made me very... Oh, yeah. There we go, first digger.
Wow.
There we go. You know,
Dramatic footage.
yeah, dramatic footage. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I love running on the trails, but I am prone to falling. I don't know if I have a weak ankles or something, but in my defense, it had rained earlier that day and I was not wearing trail shoes. I was wearing just like regular road shoes that were
Right.
kind of worn on the bottom. So not much purchase on those. And yeah, it took a digger. But it happens. And, it's funny. Emerson, my daughter who you saw in that clip in the jogging stroller, she will actually grab my hand at home and lead me to the stroller and say, Daddy, run. Daddy, run. She
Really?
wants to get out there. Yeah, oh yeah. She loves it.
She's next. She's next in line.
She's next in line, yeah. Yeah.
This is gonna be wow. I want to be there for some races in a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. But yeah, she likes to run, and she's actually the reason why I'm on this streak because I didn't plan to like I think I'm at like 30 plus days
Wow.
of continuous running, and I wouldn't have even started this if the days when I was planning to take off, she hadn't grabbed me by the hand and said, "Daddy, let's go.
Right.
Daddy,
Right.
let's run." So, yeah. But yeah, so
All
let's
right.
let's let's transition into the main topic, which is
Let's get
nutrition
into it.
and diet. And yeah, I mean, I thought we'd start talking about the difference between the diet when your goal is to lose weight versus your diet when your goal is to train for a race, when you're on a training plan. Because I think there's a big difference between the two. In my mind, when you are training to lose weight, which is something you should do, before starting a training plan, a training plan to, race, that's the time where you're going to be counting calories basically and making sure that the calories you burn running, that's more than the calories you're taking in. But when you are doing when you're training for a race, that's when, that kind of goes out the window and you need to make sure you're eating enough and you're meeting your caloric needs so that you can recover from training and grow stronger and faster. You can't be shortchanging your body when you're doing quality. It's just counterproductive, in my mind.
Right.
I don't know if
Right.
you had any thoughts on that, Brett.
This is so we have about three topics today or so. This is one topic that I don't have a lot to say because, again, like I said before, when I fasted during my marathon training for last fall, I really didn't change anything up about my nutrition. I still ate whatever I could, but I still lost the weight.
Just break down for us,
Uh,
Brett, when you say fasting, what does that mean?
So fasting. So if you're somebody who is a competitive runner and you do the intermittent fasting while you're training, which I did, which some thought that was insane to do, but it worked out pretty well, I thought. You are choosing essentially a 16-hour window where you do not take in any calories. Again, things like black coffee and tea are okay. In an 8-hour window where you are taking in calories. So if you're working, which I was basically at home on vacation for the summer, and then I was back in the fall. So half my training essentially was um, having to go to work and figure out a plan to eat. So I would start eating around 12:45, um, a lunch, a regular lunch, which we'll get to the food in in a few minutes of what we do eat. But I come home, have a pre-run snack, um, or a post-run snack, and then have a dinner around 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. I stop eating around 8:30, 8:45 completely.
So do you think that this fasting is just a great way to like eliminate the like extra snacking you might otherwise do? Just getting really disciplined about cutting that
I
stuff
think,
out?
Doug, I think everybody would be different in terms of their bodies. For me, it's not really about getting rid of the hunger or the snacking. It's simply just I was able to eat 3 times a day in an 8-hour period, but still lose weight every week, every
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
for the 4 month training, roughly.
Yep. Um, okay. So let's talk about some general diet advice. Now, I've never done anything like intermittent fasting or anything like that. And truth be told, I'm not a zealous, diet person, and I'm not like a counter. I'm not like a calorie counter. Like I'm not big into like tracking
Nope.
everything I eat, even when it comes to carbs, which I do think is if you're going to track something as a runner, carbs is a good thing to track. Like I don't keep track of my total carb gram intake or anything like that. But I just
Right.
think that as a runner, it's pretty much the general nutrition advice, but it's just more important when you're training because your body has greater need for high quality fuel. So all of the general nutritional advice about eating, unprocessed food, right? You want to eat whole foods as much as possible. You don't want to eat a lot of empty calories. You don't want to drink too much beer or eat too much ice cream and pizza and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like Doug, here's the thing though. So you're
Yeah.
right. I don't count calories. I don't think of fasting as a diet for some reason. I just don't. It's debatable.
Because it's
I
not it's
don't
not
count
what because it's not really what you eat. The fasting, it's
Yeah,
when you eat.
I don't keep track of calories. I don't keep track of carbs. I ate what I could when I could, and it worked for me. Um,
Yeah.
but I will say though, you're right though. Runners out there, fasting or if you're fasting or not, you need to take in those calories, and don't worry about weight loss in terms of because if you are training for a marathon, you are running high mileage. So whatever you eat, you're going to burn. And if you have a goal, time or a goal in general, you still need to eat. And as Doug said, you have to eat well. I will say that for my own sanity, which we'll get to the food in a little bit, there are, one day a week where I would just splurge, which I wouldn't say is best for every runner, but for my mentality, I needed to just splurge on that. Yes, they were processed foods for a whole day. The one day I didn't run, I splurged, but the next day I had goals. The next day I had goals that were different than that other day.
What'd you splurge on, Brad? I'm curious. What were your go-to splurge foods?
All right, let me tell you. You want to hear? This is public
I
now,
want to hear.
so
I
I'm
want to
just
hear.
going to tell you.
I want the food porn. What were you?
Now, now I do cook a lot. I do cook a lot of healthy meals, but also like semi-healthy meals, which I'll get to in a little bit. But there are days where I'll just order, a large everything pizza from a local market that I love their pizza. And maybe I might eat the whole thing, maybe I won't. I might even have fast food. Like we're talking like maybe 4,000 calories fast food in one day. I will do that to my body for a day. And all those runners out there who they might put their nose up at me for that, but that's my mentality. I need to have a day where I'm basically human.
I know, I actually think that's pretty healthy. I think that if you just deprive yourself of the food you love all the time, you're going to get burned out and you're going to drop the diet
I have
entirely.
needs, Doug. Doug, I have needs, man. Those
But
needs need to be fulfilled.
that's right. But what you were saying though, Brett, reminded me about what you were saying about like the 4,000 calories or whatever. It did remind me about this concept that I learned from Greg McMillan about the calorie bomb, where sometimes when you're running a lot, you're training hard, and you get kind of low energy, feeling a little sluggish. That is a sign that you're not getting enough calories. And if that is happening to you, you probably need a calorie bomb. You need to go get a burger and some fries and a milkshake or whatever your splurge of choice
Right.
is, and you need to get
Right.
some calories in you. And don't feel bad
And
about
and
doing that.
Doug and Doug, I think for all those runners out there, especially sorry to interrupt you,
No, go ahead.
especially and it could be a day where I don't run at all, or it could be after a long 15, 20 mile run. Because let's face it, when you have a 20-mile run on a Saturday or Sunday, and the elements maybe not be great, you have to have a goal afterwards. What do you look forward to doing after? If I don't have a goal in mind, then I am not the same runner during that run. So I might have a goal of just splurging after, um, for entire evening after running 20 miles
I got you. So
during a training
your
run.
splurge is your motivation, yeah, to get you through the
Not
run.
every time, Doug, but I
Yeah,
would say that my splurging comes probably a lot of it from that after that long, long run.
yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so in terms of like generally like the foods you should be eating,
Okay.
I mean, I would just say like carbs basically are there's no getting around it. I mean, well, okay. Listen, everybody's different, right? Everybody's metabolism is different. Everybody's body is different.
Right.
I have heard of some people who just rely on fat for their energy needs, and they say it's great. They cut the carbs down, but traditionally, and for most people, I think that the energy running at a pace at like a race type effort requires the energy that you get from carbs, and
True.
you just need carbs. You need a lot of them as a runner, and this is kind of contradictory to a lot of the popular nutritional advice that is out there, which has kind of labeled carbs as the enemy. Because I mean, look, if you sit on your butt all day, and you eat a bunch of carbs, yeah, you're gonna gain weight. But if you are a runner and you're getting the miles in, you got to have carbs, and you got to make that a priority. You got to make that a part of most
Right.
of your meals. Have got to be you have a healthy dose of carbs. Is there anything you want to say
I want to
about
say
that?
that
Or
carbs. You're right. And unfortunately, I am not great at keeping track of my carbs. I try my best. Fat, everybody, is important as well. A common misconception is that fat is your enemy if you're a runner. You have to have fat. You have to have healthy fats, and healthy carbs. It's a matter of choosing what type of fats and what type of carbs that you love, that you want to eat and take. Um, Again, like there are some go-tos, Doug. I mean, like, I will say that obviously pasta. Now, everybody thinks that eating pasta, you know, in the evening is going to make you this, you're set for the next day. And I will say that those carbs do not last you all the way through to that next day's run. So it's important to eat carbs, but don't think that that one spaghetti plate at 7 p.m. before a run is going to help you that much the next day.
Yeah, true. And another key thing to think about is immediately after your run
Yes.
or your workout. Studies have shown that you have like a 1 to 2 hour window, I think, but pretty much the sooner the better that you, after you finished your workout, that you can get some carbs and some protein into your body. You're going to speed up.
30.
You go ahead. You know the
Oh, I'm
figures?
sorry. I was gonna say that 30 minutes usually is roughly the time where experts believe that you should be taking in calories after a run.
Okay, 30 minutes, so it's even shorter window than I thought. Yeah. And basically if you get those carbs, if you get that protein into your system, your body at that time is primed to take it in and begin the recovery process, begin to, rebuild the muscle that you broke down and recharge your energy tank. So
Right.
you really gotta, because I know a lot of people, back to like the weight loss thing, they'll run and maybe they'll want to not eat because they don't want to, put weight back on that they lost or helped to lose during the run. You know what I mean? They think it's counterproductive, but
Uh, yeah.
that's wrong. It's misguided, I think.
Right. So Doug, yeah, and I do want to tell you a couple of things that at least I know we're not on the topic yet, but a couple of things that I do eat after a training run that maybe some of you out there might relate to or might think about. Again, Doug, I will say that in previous marathons, my biggest mistake, I believe, is being so lazy after a training run that I will not have anything for like 3 hours. I'm
Yeah.
so drained. And I realize that runners out there, you need to have calorie intake. So I will say, Doug,
Yep.
my favorites post-run easy snacks that are delicious but also healthy
Yeah.
and not a huge pepperoni pizza. So I will say that after that long 20 miler, I might get that pizza. But guys, I want to say that again, I would say banana and peanut butter, apple and peanut butter. I'd say yogurt with possibly banana or other fruit. I'd say a bagel, for me, a gluten-free bagel, or toast with peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say possibly maybe a small protein shake. I don't use protein powder, but there are protein alternatives. And even homemade raisin and spice oatmeal is one of
Yeah.
my favorite things to have.
Yeah, and I'll throw out a nod to chocolate milk, which
I was just gonna say, okay,
which is that's my go-to because first of all it's liquid. So because if you've just been on
Right.
like a hard or especially long run, you might not feel like eating something solid. You get that chocolate milk, you're getting the protein from the milk with some carbs, and you're getting the carbs from the chocolate syrup. And that's that's been shown to be, just the right mix of carbs and protein to help with that
right.
restorative function of your body. So chocolate milk.
And Doug, I will say that for me, I don't drink milk.
Mm-hmm.
All of you people who drink milk alternatives, I'd say that they're coming out with more almond, cashew milks that are chocolate, and like dark chocolate, regular chocolate. So I buy that, and that's an easy, as Doug said, that's a great source of post-run calories. So guys, check out your grocery stores. They have, I saw 3 different brands have chocolate milk of, again, cashew, almond, etc.
And from what I've read, like a lot, there's a lot of, products out there that are marketed to runners as recovery drinks. And from
Correct.
what I've read, just chocolate milk or a milk substitute like Brett's talking about is just as good.
Yep.
So
Just as good.
you don't gotta go out and spend all this money on this recovery stuff. Just have some chocolate milk. Who doesn't love chocolate milk? I mean, come on.
Right. And again, Doug, all those people who don't intake dairy,
Yeah.
I have dairy. I have limited dairy, especially with like milk. So I will go out and buy creamy cashew milk. I think Silk has. I mean, all these different brands are coming out with these amazing products.
I love almond milk.
So
Almond milk. I love the taste
almond
of
milk. Yep.
that. Yep.
Yep. So
Okay, so did you want to talk? Let me see here. About
we got?
mistakes? Did you want to talk about any
Yeah,
mistakes you see
mistakes.
runners make with their
Okay.
nutrition? Because I
Yep.
know,
I'm gonna
uh,
go ahead, Doug. Yep.
well, I know that one of the things I hear is kind of the philosophy that you're running a ton of miles, you're doing a ton of workout, you're the philosophy that your fire is burning so hot that anything is gonna burn. So it doesn't matter what you eat, how much you eat, because you're running so much. It's fine, whatever. But
Right.
I think that's silly, because you got to look at it in terms of the quality of the fuel you are giving your body.
Hmm.
Right? And if you are giving your body just all this processed food where all the nutrition has literally been stripped out of it, I mean, you're not giving your body what it needs to perform
Right.
and to recover. So, whole foods. And I'm of the mind that you should really eat as much as I wouldn't deprive yourself of food, but as long as that food is, whole food, healthy food, eat as much of it
Yep.
as you want. I kind of fall into that line of thinking, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, some of these misconceptions and mistakes that I've made in the past, you guys, I just here are number one. I mean, I had a doctor years ago before I came back to Maine that told me that because I'm a runner, I could eat basically anything that I want, which
You had a doctor tell
essentially
you
like
that? You had a doctor tell you
I
that?
did.
Oh,
I
wow.
did have, yes. And I think, Doug, that honestly, it's true. Like if you could eat anything you want, but as Doug said, if you really have a goal in mind and you want to be a successful, happy runner, you have to intake more quality than not quality. So that's not true. Eat anything. Eating less is good. That is not true. Again, if you're a marathon runner, if you're a runner in general, you have to eat more. Also, sports drinks, I've learned over the years, first of all, if you're under an hour, you really don't need to be having a sports drink.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running under roughly, I'd say maybe 50 minutes, you do not need a sports drink. Sports drinks are more for those over an hour runners. And I went towards the G2 Gatorade sports drink as opposed to the regular Gatorade. The sugar content in G2 is completely different than the regular Gatorade.
Okay, so walk me through this. I'm vaguely familiar with the system. The G1 is like the before
So
the workout.
Gatorade regular is just a lot of sugar. But G2, I will have maybe during like a long run, or after maybe that hour run, I'll have maybe like half of a G2.
Okay.
So Gatorade 2 is as effective as Gatorade original, but less sugar.
And G2 is made to be consumed while you're in the activity, while you're doing the activity.
It can or Doug after.
Yeah.
So I do both actually. You know, a 20-mile run, I'll have G2 with me, but I'll need more after. So, but again, everybody, Gatorade, things like that, like sports drinks, should not really be consumed on a daily basis, like while you're just at work or whatever. It should be after a run that's probably at least 50 minutes.
Yeah, I can only think of like the one exception I could think of is when you're carb loading for a marathon. Then you
Right,
might
Doug.
then you might
That is true.
you might sip on some Gatorade and like the
Correct.
days ahead of a marathon just to kind of
Correct.
help build up your
Yep.
carbs. But
Yep.
yeah,
I'm wrong about that, Doug. He's right, everybody. If you are a marathon runner, couple of days leading up to that race, consuming Gatorade throughout the day is okay. Just don't overdo it. But that is important. That's the one exception
yeah.
to having Gatorade randomly during the day.
That's why when I was a kid, when I was in like high school and stuff, I used to love
yeah,
Gatorade.
Oh, loved it.
Just drink it, you know.
I thought it was healthy. I
Yeah.
thought it was just like,
right.
I'm drinking. This is healthy. I'm actually feeling stronger.
Yeah,
No,
right.
It's not
right.
like that at all.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Doug, I also want to say that again, when you're running over an hour, you should be having something with you. I made the mistake of being lazy and going on these 15, 20-mile runs sometimes and having nothing on me. Having a plan, something with you, buying those packs or backpacks, runner's packs, definitely is an investment you should be having. Mixing energy drinks with, sports drinks with. No, don't put Red Bull and like water together and then like go out and run. No, sports drinks with water combined is a good idea. Gel packets, things like that, even small little snacks. If you're running over an hour, you should be having these things on you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the two sides of the coin is like if you're doing like a 5K or something like that, you do not need to worry about fueling.
Oh, I've seen it, Doug. The fanny packs.
I know,
the
I know,
5Ks.
and that's why I think you brought it up, and why I'm reiterating it here is like you just don't. You've got enough in your tank for a 5K.
You're not going to pass out if you do that charity 5K, whatever. Like you're good.
Now for a 10K, it depends. It depends how. It depends how fast you're running it. If you're going to be out there for like around like 50 minutes, then you might want to, take in some Gatorade or some energy gel or something like that. But I think for the most part, you won't need anything for that. Now the half marathon, that's when you're going to look to start really taking in some nutrition. And that's kind of for the half marathon. My go-to is like the Gatorade. I think that the Gatorade that, most places will hand out every mile, every other mile, I think will be sufficient for most people. And of course, when we're talking about the marathon, that's like a whole thing into itself.
Which everyone, by the way, to everybody out there, half marathons are still they're really badass. They're still important. They're legit. We're not saying that marathons dominate or are more elite. Everything's very similar.
Well, Brad, I don't think half marathons need your help, buddy, because they're like I'm pretty sure they're the most popular, one of the most popular race distances, and I think they like crush the marathon in terms of like signups. Of course,
I'm just saying, going back to a previous episode, just to clarify to the fans out there, half marathons are still. They are legit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I do like what I like about half marathons is that they are pretty long, but they don't beat up your body so bad like a marathon does, so you can bounce back from them relatively quickly. I think half marathon is a pretty good distance.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. But I guess let's see here. In
Oh, Doug, one
terms,
more thing
yeah,
I want to say about the intake while you are running.
yes,
What I took during the last marathon they were salt tablets that I bought on Amazon. Basically, they're like just you can chew them,
yeah,
you can carry them with you, and they're a great source. They don't taste just like the salt. There's a little bit of flavor to it,
yeah.
but a few of those during the run, I found that they are a quick solution.
Yeah, well, I mean, both of us are pretty heavy sweaters, so I think salt does
Yes.
become a factor
Oh,
for
I
us. And
sweat.
people don't realize that.
I sweat.
Yeah, you. Well, you saw the video clip I shared. I sweat plenty.
Oh, dude, you were just pumping it with
Yeah,
the sweat.
yeah. But people don't realize that it actually is really dangerous. That is a you can, when you're running for an extended period of time in warmer weather, run out of salt, and that is a very dangerous thing. You can pass out. It's really bad. So salt is something that, for if you're running for an extended period of time, you should be taking some in. I know that Power Gel, I believe it is, comes with some salt in it. So that
Right.
might be a
Yeah.
gel option.
Could be a
Um,
future episode, Doug, is the actual products we've
yeah,
taken.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That is
I will say,
a whole nother
yeah, and
thing.
I will
A whole
say
nother
that
thing.
if you have trouble with like your stomach and like what you intake, salt tablets are definitely easier on the stomach. They're very light. They dissolve quickly. Actually, you just chew them. But we can talk about that later if you guys are interested in salt tablets.
And one thing we haven't really discussed, Brett, is water, or just in general, hydration in general, which is so important,
Sh-
especially now it's starting to get, hot out.
Well, Doug, should I show you my how I motivate
Yes,
myself to drink every day?
yes, absolutely.
Drink every day, drink water every day. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Get it. Because I know, when I would go for like long runs, I'll hold the bottle. Some people don't like holding the bottle. They'll get like a fanny pack or something.
All right.
But you got it?
So I had trouble basically before the whole quarantine thing of drinking enough water. I didn't know how much I was drinking. I I kind of like lost track, and so basically I bought this on Amazon.
Oh wow, like a
This is
motivational
as
water bottle
so
to
so
drink more water.
since February, I've drank one of these every single day since February. And guys, what it is I saw a product on Amazon. Um, the name of it's kind of awkward, so I won't tell you what the name of the product is. It's kind of the way it's spelled is really awkward. I'll leave that. It's kind of inappropriate. I'll leave that out. But this,
Okay.
guys, is okay. Build Life is not the actual name of the product, but like anyways.
What is it,
So
like the pea maker
basically,
or something? Like,
dude, I don't even want to say it. I
all
can't
right, all
even. I don't even want to say it.
right, all right.
But this
Okay.
is what it looks like. It's got 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's a gallon. When I'm at school teaching, I have it there, and I have a glass with me. I just kind of pour it into a glass. When I'm home, the same thing. But you keep track of basically the hours that you're drinking where you're at. Now, you have things like good morning, and so you have your water. You've got it. Remember your goal. That's it. Keep drinking. No excuses. A little bit more, and then you have well done. But it does show you from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. how much you've had.
Neat, very cool. And I think we should mention too that we talked about the importance of getting in, protein and carbs after your run. It's also, of
Correct.
course, very important to get in some water as well. Rehydrate yourself. But I've kind of, water intake, I've never really worried about it for me because I just naturally, I just drink a lot of water. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure I'm good on that point. But also, during the run, do you take anything with you? Do you have like a water bottle? Because I have in the past, I've held a water bottle. I've, before the whole COVID thing, I would use, water fountains kind of along the way. I'd stop and drink
Yeah,
from those.
Doug, yeah. Look, I've gone through it all, and I had I kind of the little fanny pack with the
Yep.
holster with the two. I had
Oh yeah, I
that,
had
but
those. I had that.
I didn't really love that.
Yeah.
I had the camel pack on the back
Yeah.
with I put a snack in the pocket. I didn't really love that. So after a while, Doug, I basically just took two of the hand. I bought a handheld bottle which straps to your hand.
Straps to your hand. Yeah.
I bought two of those, and
Yeah.
basically what I did was I'd carry one that had water and also Gatorade too,
Yeah.
and a little bit of salt tablets dissolved into it. I'd
Yeah.
leave one on my car, so when I'm going for a long run, I would. Again, if you're in a safe neighborhood, you're good. But like if you're not, then I put it somewhere else. But I would leave one on my car, and then I would go out for maybe 10 miles, have that one, or 8 miles, come back around, switch, take the other one, and then just keep going.
Yeah. That's interesting because I have seen that, and we're gonna do a whole nother show, I think, on like race nutrition and stuff like that. But I have seen people or heard people talk about, going out before your run, driving around and planting bottles of water or bottles of sports drink or what have
I
you.
can't. I
So then,
can't.
so then when you go back home or wherever you're going to start your run. So then you go out and you get, you have bottles waiting for
Yeah,
you. Of course,
not
if
a
you're
bad
like
idea.
if you're a pro runner, you have assistants who or as coaches who do that for
And
you.
yeah, oh yeah, they give you. I mean, you're carrying nothing basically the whole time, and then
Yeah,
they
yeah, but yeah,
ever watch a marathon on TV and you wonder why nobody has anything on them, and they're running 4:30 paces. Yeah, they've
yeah,
got people.
yeah. Well, they get that one of the biggest benefits they get is that they get whatever drink that they want. They get to put it on the tables, throughout the race where they're located throughout the race, and no other if you're not part of the pro runner elite, you just have to take whatever they give you, which is whoever's sponsoring the race, whether it's Gatorade or Power Gel or whatever, or you got to bring it yourself and carry it on with you. So
All right.
yeah, do they really need all that advantage? Aren't they? They're fast enough as it is.
They have the best shoes. Some shoes are almost
They
illegal,
got
but
they got yeah they got the vapor flies that give them illegal advantage.
yeah, guys, vapor flies
Yeah.
are,
Did that get banned? It was there was talk that it was going to get
it,
banned.
it got I believe it I believe in some places it got banned, I thought.
For me, the very fact that it was up for consideration means that the shoe it's giving some kind of advantage.
But Doug, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, can a shoe really give like come on. Like that's a whole other topic I don't even want to discuss right now. Like, can a shoe like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really give that much of an advantage where
I
I'm not seeing
I
it.
think I think in the marathon, if you're going to make an argument that you get an unfair advantage because of like a shoe, I think the marathon is the circumstance where you could make that case because it's so many footsteps where if you are getting an incremental energy
I
return
guess
because of a carbon fiber plate in your shoe.
that's a company being creative. I don't know. That's a company being creative. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, well,
Anyways, other topic, another day.
yeah, sorry, yeah, can of worms on that one. But okay, so anything else you want to talk about on like the nutrition thing? I think we're going to do a whole nother show on like the race, carb loading for a marathon, just
Well, Doug,
what and how to take
I
in
do
your
want
nutrition.
to go over a couple of just other basics that I do. My go-to with eating,
Okay,
whether
yeah.
it's at dinner or just simply snacking. So here's my little list. Everybody out there, just quickly: bananas, cheap. You can carry it with you. You can eat it before or after. It's a great. It's potassium. It's light. A great runner's food. Avocados, healthy fats, fiber. Spinach, berries, oranges are great after a run. Um, Eggs, cheap, effective, protein. Um, Cherries are a great source of stopping inflammation.
Mm.
So I love cherries, so not a bad idea. Canned fish, again, like easy to make or to open, um, effective, cheap. Salmon, I mean, any sort of like tuna. Black beans, also a great source of protein. I make tacos with them all the time. It's a great source. Uh, Quinoa, if you like, if you're not a big rice person, quinoa is kind of like a alternative, white brown rice. And Yeah, those are my go-tos in terms of small snack items.
Yeah, I would throw nuts. I would throw nuts in there, especially like almonds. It's a good for like healthy fat source.
Cashews.
Yeah, in there as well. But my my daughters would be all set because they love bananas. I literally cannot buy bananas fast enough to keep them in the house. They just devour
I mean,
bananas.
at least it's just like cheaper food, not like these like high, you know,
At least they don't
like
devour
high
caviar or
price.
whatever.
Or like, Daddy, I want caviar.
Yeah,
I want it now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I want tuna tartare, Daddy.
yeah. Okay, so let's move to the miles ahead. Which I mean, with no race on the horizon, I'm pretty sure it's going to be your answer is going to be just more of the same. Just keeping at it, doing your normal runs. Right? You don't
I'm
have
gonna
any.
throw.
Yo, go ahead.
No, yeah, Doug. No, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be doing like maybe more mileage per se. But I'd say I'm gonna be doing more hills and accelerations. Again, you have a more structured plan. My goal is to kind of get out of the regular like running mode and get into the accelerations to get stronger as well as the hills.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I did some hills today, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. I've heard it
Right.
called the hills are speed work for runners who don't like the track. So,
God.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, good stuff. It's funny like at the end of my reps how I'll just feel like my legs you get that feeling where like you're trying to kick at the end of a race and you're just reaching your max velocity and your
Hmm.
muscles just cannot like produce the the energy you're trying to get from them at the end of that
Right,
race to
right.
finish strong. It just gives you that it just works on that capacity. Good stuff. Okay, that's cool. Some more hill work. That's cool. I've told you in the
You?
past. Yeah, it is kind of more of the. It's just building more. This plan does every 3 weeks. There's a bump in volume. So now instead of my easy days being a half an hour, they're 40 minutes. Instead of like my distance run being 40 minutes, it's like 50 minutes. My long run is now, getting up to, above an hour. So just
Right.
more, just building up, just building up. Uh, so
Right on, man.
yeah, heading in the right direction. So, and I will say that even though there are no races, like physical races that anybody's really doing right now, there will be at some point. They will return, and it's the runners who are, staying consistent now, doing the work now, who are going to be ready to really race
Right.
well when the time comes. I ran into buddy of mine, Carlos, from the Staten Island Athletic Club, and he was saying how he has a hard time being motivated to do the workouts where there's no race to, quote unquote train for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that is an issue. That is an issue, finding that motivation. But again, it's the runners who are doing it now when it's hard to be motivated who are going to be in a better position when the races return. So,
You're right.
So get it done. Get it done. Anything else, Brett, before we wrap up?
Not much.
You're good?
Nothing.
Okay.
Good.
Great. All right. Have a good week of training and running, and we will talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.